Hello guys and welcome back to another episode. So today we're going to talk about World of Warcraft Vanilla Classic. And well, this is my first classic movie I'm making. So first of all, World of Warcraft Classic is coming. Spoil. You probably know that. So on the 2nd November, when BlizzCon is starting, after you can say the first show they do, they call the welcoming, what's it called, welcome ritual, then they open up for the classic servers. So that means everyone that is attending to the event at BlizzCon is actually able to go and play the classic servers, but everyone who bought the virtual ticket on the internet for $40 can also go in and play it. And myself, I have actually bought the ticket for the $40, but that's mostly because I just want to see the show online, and I don't right now have the money to go over there and see it. And it's very limited with the key, tickets. Everyone wants to go to BlizzCon. So that means when BlizzCon is started and the welcome ritual is done, or ceremony as they call it, the BlizzCon, the Warcraft Classic servers is going live. And that means people like me and people like them who is over there can then play the game. So there are some small rules I just wanted to talk about when actually playing this game, just before you're heading in and think, okay, I will take off the whole weekend to play classic server. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because everyone with a virtual ticket should be able to try the demo after the opening ceremony. And everyone is only allowed to play 4 hours. That means you play 4 hours, and after the 4 hours you get disconnected, and it tells you, okay, you have played enough, take a break. And then probably no one knows how long the break is. We just know that you're only allowed to play 4 hours and 4 minutes, and after that no one really knows when you can go in again. It can maybe be 5 minutes, it can maybe be a half hour, it can be an hour, but you're only allowed to play 4 hours and then you'll be thrown off again. And just one more thing to say before you say, okay, that's fine, then I play 4 hours and I can wait a half hour and play again, and I can book my whole weekend for it. Don't do it, because you will start at level 15. That means you can create any classes. You can create any classes in the game, but you will start at level 15. Probably with some start gear, and the reason for why they make you level 15 is probably because you can do dungeons then. And remember, there's no dungeon finder in Classic, so you have to spam trade chat or look for group chat to find people, and all of you have to go over to the dungeon and summon each other. No wait, there's no summon stones, so everyone have to go in. Or was there summon stones? I played vanilla myself from the start. Was there summon stones at the start, to purely start at release? I'm actually not sure. Oh well, never mind. But the important thing is that you can only, you start at level 15 when you create no character, and you can maximum go to level 19. That means you can basically level up to level 19, and then you can spam dungeons or spam battlegrounds. So you can spam battlegrounds as a level 19 twink, if that's what you want. So everyone who bought the virtual ticket can play. You can play 4 hours, then you have to take a break, and no one knows how long the break is. You can play the game directly from Battle.net. That means you just open up Battle.net and download the classic server. And you can play it in full screen, so that means you don't have to have a 4 free screen like the old monitors we played on in vanilla times. You can have it on widescreen now. Also, there's no DX12 support yet, so it will be running in DX11, but DX12 will be coming. And all the new character models, as you know right now in World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth, will not be there, so it will only be the old character models you can use. So where the orcs had more, grumpy face and not so detailed. So everything will be like the old days. And now you probably ask, what can we actually do in that time? And I mean, again, you can play those 4 hours, you have to take a break after that, you can play dungeons, you can quest, you can play battlegrounds. That's basically what you can. You can run around, discover the world, but that's everything you can do. So don't plan your whole weekend to play Classic, but just say, okay, I'm going to play maybe this in the afternoon or evening or so on. But remember, everyone who bought the ticket can play, so there'll probably be some queues on the server. But again, you can kind of time it, because if you know that the server started 4 hours ago, then you can begin to log in after 3.5 hours, because then you know that in a half hour all currently players right now will be disconnected, and it's your time to play. And the reason for why they're doing this is because then even more can play. Like if you go to Blizzcon, you're only allowed to play 4 hours at a station, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, and then you get kicked off the station and you have to give it to someone else. And that's the same here, just virtually. You can also, well, if you get around downloading the game without having actually a BlizzCon ticket, what's called the Blizzard app, Battle.net app, will give you an error message saying you must purchase a BlizzCon virtual ticket in order to access World of Warcraft Classic. So you cannot just make your friend install the game on your computer and then log in with your Battle.net and open the app. And when you actually play the game and you get kicked, you will get the error message saying, thanks for playing World of Warcraft Classic, you reached the time limit for your count session. You can play again in approx for, okay, there's some kind of code translation. It will be some calculated time. It's probably depending on how many it is in queue. So if it's only 1,000 in a queue, you can probably play after half hour. But again, it's depending on how long you can play. They also added a lot of old tooltips. So when you start up the game, in the bottom of the screen you get some old tooltips. For example, your spell casting can be cancelled by moving, jumping, or hitting the escape key. Clicking on a player name in the chat window lets you send a private message to them. You can control click on an item to see how it will look wearing that item. An item with its name is grey is a poor quality item. In most cases can be sold to a vendor. And a lot of old tips that you used to do in old days. Of course, some of these texts is still things that we do today. And like this one here, killing guards give no honor, because in old days we had the honor system, the PvP system. Killing civilians will give you dishonorable kill and honor rating penalty. So all things like that. And the current build right now they're running is 1.13, build 28,211. So I mean, we're only in 2 weeks away from BlizzCon, this week and next week, and then it's BlizzCon. So in 2 weeks we'll be playing the Classic, and I will definitely also play all the classes on Classic, make videos of all the classes on Classic, so you can actually see how the Classic game is. So, but I think it's pretty much that. There's nothing much more to talk about. I don't really want to talk about a lot of things about the Classic server. I mean, it's just World of Warcraft, just back in vanilla, and I played the whole vanilla. I even played the beta to vanilla. So, but we will talk much more about it when the game actually comes, and or we can play it, because there's not much to talk about right now. So yes, this is the status. So if you haven't bought your BlizzCon ticket and you want to try the Classic, well, go in, throw your money at Blizzard, and we'll see you in Classic. So thanks you guys for watching, and leave down a comment. What do you think about the Classic server? Are you going to play on the Classic server, or are you not going to play on the Classic server? Personally, myself, if it's going to be like in vanilla in old days, where it takes like 3 months to go from level 1 to 60, I will probably not do it, depending on how many actually played, because it could also be interesting field to go in and begin to make YouTube videos about the Classic server if it actually can drive people to views. But it could be fun to level up at level 60, get the old PvP gear, and just be in Altec Valley for 4 hours each day, like old days. I don't know. But leave down a comment. Are you going to play Classic or not? Yeah. So thanks you guys for watching, and have a great day.